AITA for wanting to keep an expensive birthday gift that makes my boyfriend uncomfortable? I am not the OOP. OOP is you, birthday book. AITA for wanting to keep an expensive birthday gift that makes my boyfriend uncomfortable? Originally posted to r. Am I the asshole? Original post August 11th, 2023. F just turned 25. Have a friend. Logan. M 25. And we've been friends since we were 7/8. I have a boyfriend, Matt, who I've been dating for 7 months. My birthday was last week. And I had a dinner party for some friends before we all went out to a club. There was 8 of including Logan and Matt. We had a little bit of a gift opening before dessert. And Logan gifted me an old copy of The Great Gatsby. The book has a special significance to us. Because for many years Logan and I lived in different countries. We kept in contact, but we didn't see each other in person for about 4 years. We finally got our parents to agree for me to fly to his country to visit in 2013. We were talking about what we were going to do on the visit, and I really wanted to go and see The Great Gatsby movie, which had just come out. As it is my favorite book. Logan had never even heard of it, and I said he had to read it before we went to see the movie. Logan was never academic, and to this day it is the only fiction book he's ever read all the way through. Not counting children's books. Whenever I ask him to do me a favor, he always replies with, "I read The Great Gatsby for you. So I may as well," and it's a running joke. We always go big on birthdays, but this book means so much to me. The day after, Matt said he felt the book was an inappropriate gift because of how expensive it is. I tried to explain to him that it's just a sentimental gift and that the cost isn't the point. But Matt said he feels weird that another man gifted me something that costs more than his car. This argument went on for a long time, and Matt said that he thinks I should return the book. And if it means so much to both of us, then Logan can keep it. I told him to grow up. We've been having this fight on and off for a week. Matt's saying that it's reasonable for him to be uncomfortable, but I think he's being a jealous child. It's not like Logan gave me a giant diamond necklace just to show off. He gave me something heartfelt that means the world to me. And I think that should be more important than the fact that Matt thinks it's outside what he deems an acceptable budget. My mother is saying to give Matt the benefit of the doubt and maybe ask Logan to keep the book for now, and if one day Matt is more secure I can take it back. My dad is saying Matt's an idiot. My girlfriends are split. This argument is just dragging on, and I'm leaving for my birthday trip tomorrow, and I just need some perspective on whether I'm being unreasonable wanting to keep the book. Edit. For everyone asking about the book, it is a 1925 edition, well known to be fairly rare. The prices vary, but it's Googleable if you really want to know. There are a range of prices and it's somewhere in the middle. I'm not going to say the exact amount. For everyone asking why I'm not dating Logan or why I never did, I explained this in detail in several comments, but this is the most comprehensive and reflective one, I think. There was a YouTube segment of Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke having tea together. And Olivia said her, "What's your favorite item in your wardrobe?" or something similar. And she said, "A beautiful Chanel cardigan that I really love but have never worn because it just doesn't suit me." And it just reminded me of that. It's not that I don't absolutely adore Logan. I do. I can unreservedly say he's my favorite person in the whole world. But if you ask me why I'm not in relationship with him, I don't have a concrete answer. Because there's nothing about him I don't like. But it just never happened. And I think he would say the same thing. When I think of the way he was with his ex and the ones I've had, including Matt, I don't see us being that way, those people for each other. Verdict. Not the asshole. Relevant comments. Dull Nebula 6974. Nah. The plot of The Great Gatsby from Wiki. The novel depicts first-person narrator Nick Carraway's interactions with mysterious millionaire J. Gatsby and Gatsby's obsession to reunite with his former lover. The boyfriend is reading between the lines here and is rightfully jealous. How the op isn't making this connection blows my mind. Are you really being honest with yourself? Friend and boyfriend? You might want to clear that with your friend before keeping the book. You wouldn't want to mislead anybody involved. Sounds like everyone here isn't on the same page. Oop replied, yes, but I've liked the book since I was 9. Logan read it when we were 1-5. Surely he's not been planning that since then. Marla bursts. Op. What makes Great Gatsby your favorite book? Oop replied. Well, firstly my dad gave me a copy of it and said he loved it and I hero worshipped him as a kid, so that was a setup, tears of joy. And I loved the aesthetic. I guess. It really started a love affair with the 20s. I still love Art Deco anything. And Fitzgerald's writing made it come so alive for me. And yeah, I am going to get battered for this, but when I was little, I loved the love story. When you grow up watching fairy tales, that book feels like the grown-up version. Every little girl wants to be loved so much that a man will throw 100 parties in the hope that she'll come. Obviously as an adult you get the nuance, and it's not so much a love story as a story of the falsity of the American dream in a pathologically obsessed and really short-sighted man and the woman he couldn't free from her gilded cage, tears of joy, and that's still beautiful in a different way. I love it just as much now. Just differently. Update August 16, 2023. So, I got some requests for an update. And I did say I'd try to post one, so here it is. Coming to you from a Mediterranean island that has been very unkind to my waistline. I just want to first say a huge thank you for all the responses. Internet strangers get a bad rap, but I really appreciate all the advice. So, first update. Matt and I broke up. He didn't end up coming on my birthday trip, but we were kind of talking on and off and he sent me a text that dropped the L-bomb. And I didn't respond in kind. That was the last straw for him. Now that I think about it, that was the next hurdle that was coming. This just brought it forward, I guess. He'll be picking his things up over the weekend. I would like us to stay friends. I still like him so much. But I know that's not really up to me now. I told my mom about the breakup, and she apologized for making me feel like I was in the wrong about keeping the book. She said she was just so used to seeing me treat men as disposable. And because I'd been with Matt so long, she thought maybe he might not be, and she got too caught up in that. I think hearing that I wasn't even ready to say I love him was a shock to her. And she realized she'd been telling herself a story about him and me that wasn't what was playing out. Onto me and Logan. Obviously a whole wealth of opinions and advice was shared about our friendship, and honestly going through the comments on the post was the first time I'd really ever thought that deeply about our relationship. It brought up a lot of memories and feelings. And I did end up talking to Logan about it and telling him about the original post. I ended up making a note of some of people's questions and asking him. I really wish I could include all his answers here because I think his responses were pretty funny. That said, word limit, so I'll keep the answers short. Logan did not buy the book as a way to express romantic interest, and the plot was not relevant to his choice to purchase it. Logan has never wanted to date me. Feelings are complicated. Obviously there was more we talked about, but I will just leave you with another metaphor. Since the cardigan one was such a hit, sometimes a thin gold chain will sit in your jewelry box for a decade. And over the years it'll tangle. And the knot will be so inextricable you can't tell where the chain ends or begins. It would take a long time to pick that apart. Some people get out their magnifying glass and a good lamp and work until the chain is good as new. And some people might decide to just put it back in the box before they break it. We're trying to be the first. But the second might end up being okay. We'll see. I think that's everything. Thank you to everyone who responded. I laughed. I cried. I had an existential crisis. It was wild ride. This is a repost sub IAM, not the OOP. I feel like some context is missing that was from OOP's comments. She and Logan are rich. Matt is middle class. The book is a 1925 copy with paperwork, and she considers it the same amount as spending money on an upscale restaurant or buying a car. She wouldn't answer comments about if Logan asked her out if she would date him after the initial shock, citing that she could speculate all she wanted but it wouldn't matter because he wasn't going to ask her, though she very much denied they had feelings for each other and that Logan wouldn't confess after all these years. She's moved cities and followed Logan to college, including annoying her dad into driving 5 hours to support him at a career event. She and Logan also bonded heavily after both their parents divorced, and Logan was previously in a 4-year-long relationship that didn't work out. OOP felt Matt was being too controlling over this event, and that if she conceded to this, Matt would ask her to give up other things or ask her to stop hanging out with Logan. She doesn't think Matt needs to trust Logan, as long as he can trust her. She also asked comments if her relationship with Logan was normal for friendship, with very mixed responses, and did admit she could get behind the idea of her and Logan being codependent. Edit. Oh yeah, and Logan also regularly pays for her to go on vacation. Second edit that I forgot. She also said she couldn't imagine her and Logan dating since they already knew everything about each other and she viewed dating as getting to know someone. She said she didn't know what they would talk about on dates, but never admitted if she wanted to date Logan or not if he asked. Third edit 12 hours later because oh my god, of course there's more I forgot. OOP and Logan wrote letters to each other every week for years. Those metaphors speak of wealth and romance. It makes sense. OOP loves The Great Gatsby. I'm way too dumb for the second metaphor. Is OOP saying that she and Logan are afraid they can't go back to being friends if their romance fails? The metaphor with the cardigan was great, but oof at the one with the gold chain. That one sounded like straight out of young adult novel. Rich people nonsense. Feel bad for the boyfriend who's basically just the equivalent of a trendy purse that she can toss whenever she gets tired of it. This is literally a straight equivalent of an art room post. That gold chain metaphor has me feeling like Myrtle trying to hail the yellow car. ETA. Typo. I can't brain today. I don't really fault Matt for this. Google says that book is worth tens of thousands on the low end. Unless you're extremely wealthy. That's an unusually large gift for a friend to say the least. That chain metaphor was tortured and I wish I could unread it. Also, OOP is just not very smart if she doesn't see how getting expensive gifts from another man is going to make most romantic partners uncomfortable. If I was Matt, I would nope out of there too. Ha ha ha, the mum's line. I'm just so used to seeing you treat men as disposable. OOP comes off as fairly callous to me. The birthday holiday in the Mediterranean, we always go big for birthdays, and old mate Logan casually dropping $100,000, $150,000 on a present reeks of money. All I can picture is some gossip girl, Blair Waldorf type of snooty bish, kicking back on a deck chair in the European sun, knowing she's set for life. Tears of joy. This post reeks of ignorant old wealth. A first edition copy of The Great Gatsby from 1925 costs anywhere between $100,000 $150,000 United States dollars. This changes the narrative significantly. Knowing this, Matt had every right to react the way he did. My guess is that he's an average guy who got in over his head with a filthy rich girl and her filthy rich friends. This is the first boyfriend Oop has been with long enough to have a birthday with, and that also happens to be the birthday that Logan buys her an extremely expensive copy of an extremely sentimental book between them. A book that is specifically about a man whose love is with another man. Fuck off, is there nothing there? Whenever I don't want to date someone, I write multiple paragraphs about how wonderful they are, and how close and touching our relationship is. And to really seal the deal, I scatter in a heap of bittersweet, wistful metaphors. Because that's how people who really don't want to date that person usually choose to describe them. Couldn't free her from her gilded cage. That is a very interesting and hilariously naive interpretation of Daisy Buchanan. It's also extremely weird how much the Oop resembles her as a person. Can't think of many things more frustrating than trying to date someone who pretends they are available but they really aren't. Happy for Matt that he can get on with his life. I'll probably be equally annoyed with any outcome between OOP and Logan.
What?
This whole thing reads as a cautionary tale to not date anyone super wealthy if you're middle class. Especially if their own mother says she has a history of treating men as disposable. From Oop, I can unreservedly say, Logan's my favorite person in the whole world. If my partner felt that about another woman, we'd be done. Matt's better off. So is Oop by the sound of it. Not sure she was really into him. Regardless. Was anyone else worried that the book was going to meet a mysterious accident? Yes, I googled 1925 edition Great Gatsby and the price range is $100. 150,000. So he spent roughly $125K on a book for her birthday. Pair that with him being her favorite person in the whole world, I think all her relationships will end up looking something like this.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.